For more now, Dalia Dussaquet, Director at the RAND Corporation Center for Middle East Public Policy, is with us from Los Angeles. Dalia, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Here's a headline from Tuesday's Wall Street Journal, an opinion piece. The Iran-Israel war is here. It seems like it's been here for a while in terms of proxy attacks and sort of below the radar stuff. But last month, the Israelis really began to sort of expand this air campaign, the airstrikes on Iranian assets and allies in Syria, as well as Iraq. So why? Can you explain the timing?
Well, I think you have to look at this in the broader context of the U.S.-Iran escalation that's been ongoing, especially over the past year with the withdrawal of the United States from the nuclear agreement, the maximum pressure campaign, and, of course, a really volatile summer in the Persian Gulf with sabotage attacks on tankers. So I think this general tension between the U.S. and Iran over the nuclear agreement and U.S.-Iran relations is affecting these particular incidents. And I think, obviously there's real security threats for Israel. This has been an ongoing issue, but there is also the context of Israeli elections coming up in a few weeks. And there is no one in Israel who really opposes sending a strong message to Iran and Iranian-aligned assets in the region that could threaten Israel.
CNN's Pentagon correspondent Barbara Starr has been reporting that U.S. military and intelligence officials are continuing to watch for specific indications that Iran may retaliate against Israel for recent Israeli attacks against weapon facilities it runs in Iraq and Syria. That's according to multiple U.S. officials. In the meantime, according to the Reuters news agency, the Iran-backed Hezbollah is preparing a calculated strike on Israel. One source said it wouldn't lead to a war that neither Hezbollah nor Israel wants. The assumption there seems to be that right now Israel and Hezbollah are okay with these sort of back and forth limited strikes, but it's another thing altogether for Iran to step out of the shadows and become directly involved. Why is that? Explain the reasoning here. Why is one so much more serious than the other?
Well, I think it's important, even though the Israelis look at all these theaters as all Iranian-linked theaters, they are distinct. I think in the case of Lebanon, the Israelis and Hezbollah have had rules of engagement that have held pretty much since the 2006 ceasefire. What is worrying is over the weekend, some of these actions may be changing some of those rules. So I think those threats of retaliation are real. I think the Israelis are bracing for it. And we could see some escalation there. It does sound like it will likely be calculated and controlled, but of course the risk in the Middle East is these things there can be accidents and miscalculations and things can escalate even if unintended. Where I think the biggest distinction is in these recent incidents is the Iraqi theater. And this is where it's not just a risk calculus for the Israelis, but there also are real issues and spillover for U.S. interest in the region. The United States has 5,000 forces in Iraq. This is not a country where we view the leader as an adversary. We view the Iraqi government as a partner. We'd like stability there. We're still fighting a campaign against the Islamic State. So I think the concern of escalation in Iraq is of high concern to the United States.
Yeah, the last time I think Israel did any kind of strike on Iraq, what, 1981, the nuclear reactor?
Yeah, that is, according now again, the Israelis have not taken credit as they have in Syria. The airstrikes against Syria, as you mentioned, are no secret. They've been ongoing for years. What's different is the Israelis are now taking credit for them, but they are not claiming credit for or responsibility for the strikes in Iraq. But even reports are suggesting U.S. officials are acknowledging Israeli involvement. And this would be a new front for combating the Iranians because they have not struck inside that territory until quite recently, over really the last month, possibly a strike earlier. So I think there's a lot of concern. The Department of Defense issued a very strong short statement really reiterating the United States is not responsible for this attack. They're really trying to maintain good relations with the Iraqi government. There's a lot of pressure in Iraq after these attacks to push U.S. forces out of the country. They feel that these attacks were a threat on their sovereignty. It's a real balancing act for the Iraqi leadership right now. And they're facing a lot of pressures domestically still, again, from extremists like the Islamic State. So this is I think this is a new situation, really unlike what we have been seeing in the past few years, where Israeli airstrikes on Syria became commonplace. I think the intensity, the scale, the expansion of the fronts is really new and quite worrisome.
I guess the situation with claiming credit for international military operations, The Israelis never did that in the past, but the number of airstrikes being carried out in Syria was just too many. They could not ignore it. They had to acknowledge it at some point.
Well, there's probably two arguments here. One is that they needed to establish better deterrence. There are worries, legitimate security concerns in Israel about the movement of weapons, sophisticated weaponry, especially potential missile production sites with precision-guided missiles that could reach all of Israel. So, part of it could be concerns about trying to message stronger deterrence to the Iranians to be careful of what they're moving into Syria and beyond. The other one, again, we really started to see much more public messaging from the Israelis really starting last January, just months or right after the first Israeli elections or most recent Israeli elections were called, and those were held last spring. We have a redo coming up in just a few weeks. So again, I don't want to put everything on the politics in Israel, but there's certainly a domestic context here.
It does play a big role in Israel as in other countries as well. Dalia, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks.